Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, this will be a re-upload of how I believe the mutable signs are master magicians. I accidentally deleted the video, so I'm redoing it for you guys. So let's get right into it. So before I get into all four mutable signs, I'm going to talk about what mutable energy is. So mutable energy is the energy of change, it's adaptability, it's instability. I would say it's even excitable energy. It's the kind of energy that comes in to spice things up a little bit. And mutable energy on the dark side, it could be very manipulative, very tricky to pin down, and very deceptive. So the four mutable signs are Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces. So let's start with each sign's master magician style. So basically, how do they trick people and deceive people, basically? So let's start with Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign and it's ruled by Jupiter. So with Sagittarius is the kind of sign that is very grandiose and very larger than life. And this is what really invites people into their world, their ideologies, and their path. This sign is the sign of the preacher, the cult, the church, right? So these people, they have the ability to have people follow them and what they believe in and the path that they're on. So with Sagittarius, they have this illusionary nature about them, and it's like very alluring, kind of like a flame. Basically, when you look at fire, like a campfire, a fireplace, you kind of get intrigued and you can kind of get lost in the images that appear in fire. Like, this kind of reminds me of the scene in Game of Thrones where the Hound was looking into the fire and he was like seeing visions of like the future. Like, that's what fire energy has the ability to do. It has the ability to kind of play tricks on your perception. And Sagittarius is the sign that's all about perception. So that is Sagittarius energy. Virgo energy. So Virgo is an earth sign that's ruled by Mercury. And as we know about Mercury, Mercury is the planet of the trickster. You know what I'm saying? So Virgo, this is the interesting about Virgo. Virgo is actually like the least earthy out of all the earth signs, because when you think of earth energy, you don't think of it as unstable at all. But I would associate, stability and structure more with the other earth signs. With Virgo, I think of like the part of earth where it's unstable as far as like the weather and stuff. Like the weather is very unpredictable, and kind of just like natural occurrences that happen here on earth is very unpredictable, and that's more so Virgo. Virgo's magician style is very it's very interesting. It's an interesting one because Virgo, like, they have the ability to like make things appear like it's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, Virgo can have a lot of shit going on in the background and their shit could be fucked up, but they know how to dress it up well, to where people really look up to Virgo and people really want to get like Virgo and be like, damn, like, how they have a million things going on, but it's like they're not even breaking a sweat. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Virgo also has that ability to be eloquent in what they do, especially when it comes to sharing information. Like, they're very eloquent about it, and oftentimes when they share information, it's very factual sounding, to where it's like people love the facts. People want hard, cold information that is true and believable and something that they can live by. And that's what Virgo does. Virgo is the type that knows a lot of things, and then they know how to deliver it and also practically apply it in their life. What? So it's like people just think Virgo just got it going on, you know what I'm saying? So that is how they kind of deceive people, because it's like, first of all, not everybody knows everything, and then second of all, it's like, you know, nobody's perfect. That's Virgo. Gemini. So Gemini is also ruled by Mercury as well. Gemini is actually the original ruler of Mercury, actually. And with Gemini, just like Virgo, they're very eloquent in the way that they share information as well. But I feel like the difference between Gemini and Virgo is that Gemini is more witty about it. They're more humorous. They're kind of more... they're kind of, I wouldn't say raunchy, but it's like they kind of shock you, basically. Like Gemini is that first air sign, and it's like that spark, that idea, that click, you know, and it's like a jolt to your brain, basically. So when they say things, it's like it's either things that you've never heard of, or it's just things that are just very outlandish and just funny. So Gemini energy, it's very charming, and you know, this is how they put the magic on people. This is how they be casting spells on people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these people really have the gift of gab when it comes to communication. What gives them that magician-like style that they have is the fact that they're very dualistic. They're the sign of the twins. So basically, they have the ability to play two different people in one body. Like literally... You know what people say, like they live like a double life? Like that is Gemini. Like they literally can just be two different things at once, and that kind of like really throws people off, and that really confuses people, because they're just like, well, which one is it? Like, who the fuck am I even talking to? Gemini has that double mask energy. You know, the mask where it's like happy, sad, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, what the fuck is really going on here? This is why Gemini, they could be labeled as like liars, or people who just have like some sort of personality disorder, some sort of like mental disorder, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's Gemini. And lastly, Pisces. So Pisces master magician style is, they're just very deceptive. Pisces is the sign of deception. You know, it's ruled by Neptune. And it's the kind of energy that is very whimsical, and it has to do with fantasy. People love to get lost in their fantasies, and Pisces, they can give you a fantasy. Like people tend to project a lot on Pisces, and Pisces is like a chameleon, to where it's like it'll be whatever you want them to be. You know what I'm saying? Or at least it'll appear like it's doing that. And, you know, this is how they put the magic on people, because it's like people love their fantasies to be fulfilled. People love to chase after their dreams, chase after this idealized image, you know, and this is what Pisces does. So Pisces is very mysterious and very alluring in that way. And another thing I forgot to mention about Sagittarius, Sagittarius gets people because Sagittarius is the sign of wisdom and higher learning. So it's like they just have this thing about them where they could just play God, because they appear like they know everything. And just like Virgo, you don't know everything. We don't know everything. But they have so much experience to where like people really come to them for counsel or guidance. And this is another way like they get people lured in into like their world, because it's like people really look up to Sagittarius, or they're very inspiring kind of people, because it's like they've been through so much and they know so much, and people really admire that about Sagittarius. So that is it for all the mutable energy and their magic abilities. Moving on to what it means to have a lot of mutable energy in your chart. If you're the kind of person that just has a lot of mutable energy in their chart, you know, I feel like this means you came from a past time where you were overly attached to this three-dimensional reality, and you had a hard time with change and you resisted change. So that's what mutable energy comes in to do and to teach people. This is why people can't stand mutable energy, because mutable energy is very detached, and it's very detached from this reality, to where it's like it's really hard to pin them down. You know, people can't really get a grasp on mutable signs, and that kind of frustrates people, because we live in a society that wants stability and things to kind of be permanent, and mutable energy, they are the sign of impermanence, basically. So this is why mutable energy, they could just pick up and go, and it's just like whatever, you know. So like, these people just know how to be in the flow of life, basically. And this is why I feel like mutable signs, they're blessed. God blesses them because they respect universal law of energy is in constant flow. Energy is constantly changing, and mutable energy, they don't have a problem doing that. But at the same time, this is what intrigues people with mutable signs, is that you can't pin them down, and you know, it keeps you on your toes, basically. And then it keeps you interested, because it's just like, yo, like, this person is always here, there, and everywhere. It's like, I want to be on the wave that they're on, because it's like very stimulating. You know, people, so there are also people that really crave stimulation, because life could be boring. And mutable energy, it comes in to really spice things up, really freshen things up, you know. It comes in, shakes shit up, causes a little chaos, and then it's fucking gone, you know what I'm saying? So mutable energy is very temporary, and it's the kind of energy that just brings a little bit of fun and excitement. With mutable energy, once you look into like their elements and their planets of the mutable signs, you'll be able to understand them a little bit better, and like what makes them so detached. So let's start with Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is made of gas, shapeless and formless. Fire energy, shapeless and formless. Mercury energy is air energy. And like I said, I know that Virgo is an earth sign, but Virgo, they have the ability to detach, in the sense like they just know how to put up boundaries and say no. You know, Virgo is the kind of energy, it's like, how can I help you? What can I do for you? And then move the fuck on. Like, I'm not getting attached or overly involved in what you got going on, basically. With Gemini, you know, Gemini is that air energy where it's like it passes through like a breeze, you know. It, you know, think of a breeze. It comes in, it passes through, it's very refreshing, it's very nice, and then it's just gone. You know what I'm saying? So, and then air energy is shapeless and formless. So that's Gemini and Virgo. Pisces energy is that archetype of the spirit. Pisces is the spiritual body, shapeless and formless. You know, Pisces, they're very much so detached from this reality, because Pisces is the sign of spirituality, shapeless and formless. So you see how the mutable signs work? Like, they're very much so tapped into that spiritual energy. Think about Sagittarius. Like, Sagittarius is Zeus, like in Greek mythology. You know, Zeus's castle was all the way up in the clouds, away from the common people. This is why Sagittarius could just easily detach from situations and move from experience to experience, because it's just like, or like they just don't take anything serious, because it's just like, okay, like, that's not my problem, because they embody that archetype of Jupiter, Zeus, of like, you could just tap in and out, or you're just not really attached to this three dimension or the matters of the earth. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like Sagittarius, they kind of they have this outlook like, it's not that serious, and it's like, this is not my fucking problem. Like, I don't give a fuck. As well as Gemini energy as well. Gemini is also a very spiritual sign too, because when you think of the Greek mythology archetype of Hermes, Hermes has the ability to go in between worlds. It would be between the underworld and then just like the regular common three-dimensional world, you know. Hermes is the kind of energy that's just here, there, and everywhere, just like Gemini embodies, you know. Gemini is the kind of energy that they don't get overly attached to situations, you know. They're the type of people that they just come in, they deliver the message, or they just come to get some sort of information out of the situation, then they're gone and on to the next thing. So that's basically like mutable energy. Mutable energy is there to experience, you know. This is what makes mutable energy so skillful. This is what makes them so wise. I would say more so Virgo and Gemini, they're more skillful, and then Pisces and Sagittarius, they're more wise, in the sense that Virgo and Gemini, you know, they're like computers, basically. They just extract a lot of information from situations. And what makes Gemini and Pisces so wise is that they're very experienced, you know. It's like these signs are very much so evolved where they've lived many lifetimes and had many experiences to where they're very well versed on life in the universe, you know. This is the energy that they embody, is that universal energy. I'm going to talk about the lessons that mutable energies bring into people's lives. With Sagittarius, they teach people the lesson of you're not limited by one experience. There's so much to experience in life, and, you know, be open to stretch out and expand. Gemini, they teach you to, you know, just be easy breezy, be very light, you know, like, and just take every situation with a grain of salt and just take it for what it is, and, you know, just gain whatever knowledge or skill out of it and then just move on. You know what I'm saying? Just stay open, stay curious. With Virgo, you know, they teach you the lesson of protecting your energy, learning how to say no, you know. Virgo, they don't give a fuck how long they known you. If you're being toxic, they're going to cut you off. They're going to cut you off because they're protecting their mind, body, and spirit. That's Virgo. They know how to put up those boundaries and detach, so they don't get too overly involved in messy situations. You know, you don't have to get involved in everything. You could just interact from afar with distance. And then Pisces, you know, they teach you the lesson of, like, don't overly attach to worldly matters, earthly matters. You know, just enjoy things while they last, and, you know, move on to the next experience. We're always going to evolve, and, you know, this body that we have is not going to be here forever. So, you know, don't overly identify with the material realm too much. I wanted to briefly talk about the Magician card and what makes mutable energy master magicians. You know, that is the whole point of this video. So basically, because they have the ability to manipulate energy, and that's essentially what a magician does. A magician knows how to play tricks on your mind and your perception, and they are very skilled at manipulating energy for their benefit, for fun, you know, for people's entertainment, you know. So the mutable signs are represented by the tarot card of the Magician. So basically that card entails manipulation of energy, and you having the power to do that. You having the knowledge, the skills, and the power to really change your reality to whatever it is that you want, that suits you in that moment. Bringing more magic into your life. That's what the Magician card entails. And they like to say the Magician card is solely a Gemini card, but I believe it's just a mutable sign card in general, hence why it has all the elements in the card. So the wand would be Sagittarius, the cup would be Pisces, that water energy, the the pentacle would be Virgo energy, and then the sword would be Gemini energy. So basically, it really just depends on the vibe of the reading, on which sign it correlates to the most. That is all I have for you guys on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you guys have any questions or comments, leave your comments down below. Please like this video and please share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.